Around the world today, more than 260 million children are not getting an education. In a world so rich, this is a scandal. But despite the UK signing up to international plans to change this, our government is increasingly failing to put pupils before profit.
Regrettably, around the world we're seeing too many governments retreat from their obligation to provide and guarantee quality public education for all. We're seeing international actors, and in this case I'm speaking about DFID UK, which has got significant influence around the world, promoting privatisation in developing countries.
What has happened is that we've had this emerging mushrooming of low-fee private schools, mainly situated in low-income settlements, and they often come with a profit motive, which means that they are willing to make a profit at any cost.
The teachers in those schools, most of them are not qualified teachers because the private provider has to cut costs. Your only interest is to come and get a profit and run away. You're not interested in educating children.
In recent years, the Department of International Development has spent millions of the UK aid budget on private education. This includes backing controversial low-fee private schools in countries like Kenya and Uganda.
They refer to it as academy in a box, so it's a very standardized approach. Since their aim is to replicate and grow as fast as possible, they make sure all their buildings are the same, all the teachers are teaching the same thing at the same time. Teachers are actually timed in their lessons, so they have to go page by page, word for word, according to a particular script.
This program was like to increase access. So you find a school in an area, but the children of that area cannot access that school because it is too expensive for them.
When we speak about access to education, we're speaking about the right of every child to access education. In a world where privatisation prevails, in a world where there are fees to access education, that fee is a barrier.
We must have honest discussions because this whole thing of like the bridge schools, it is driven by the West. They don't have that in their systems. Why are they bringing it down to Africa? Why? What is the motive?
International Development Secretary Penny Mordaunt has said she wants the private sector to play an even greater role in our aid spending in the future. Theresa May has said the same. But privatisation is deepening inequality in education, failing to reach the poorest and most marginalised children.
We wonder why. With all the evidence that has been provided around the impacts of privatisation, in terms of equity and equality, why would they support this model? What's the end game for them in using this approach?
So if DFID is really interested in supporting education in Uganda, they should be putting education in public schools, in areas where there is no coverage at all. Then they would make an impact.
In the UK, we know the consequences of privatising education. Here and around the world, we need to put pupils before profit.
In England, the privatisation of education has had a very negative effect. We are finding that actually privatisation, the growth of academies and free schools, is not raising educational standards. A huge amount of money is being spent privatising the system, and we're not getting the returns.
Privatisation is a cancer. It represents the greatest threat to the achievement of quality education for all. What do? Well, we do what we do best. We organise and mobilise, building solidarity at the local level, the national level and the global level. We come together as internationalists to build a global response against privatisation.